Hey guys, so today I thought I'd try something different and answer a question that I've been wondering for a while and which you might also be interested in. And the question is for solo Marauder DPS, which is better on the rings, flat damage or CDR? And the only way to really answer this question is by going through the math. So I've written a little mathematical program here doing just that. So for simplicity's sake, let's just assume I have perfect rolls on all my gear. So just pretend I have primals everywhere. And we'll start by defining the damage parameters since these are a lot easier to work out. So if you look at the damage range under the big white number for primal yangs, you'll see that this is the damage range. And for the rings, it's the usual 105 to 210. So moving on to CDR parameters. This is a lot trickier to work out because I have this DPS function here which gives you the damage increase due to your CDR. And there are two components here. The first comes from Crimson, so that's right here. And the second comes from having more Vengeance uptime. Um, and the way that I work this out is by first calculating my Vengeance cooldown. So this is given by the default 90 seconds times this factor, which reduces that cooldown. And after I have this total Vengeance cycle duration T here, I basically split that up into periods when I have and don't have Vengeance, and then I weigh them by their respective damage multipliers. So Vengeance lasts for 20 seconds, during which time I have a 1.4 times multiplier, and then when Vengeance is down, I don't have any multiplier. So that's this part right here. Um, and finally, we need to divide by the total Vengeance duration, T. And finally, the minimum part here comes from the fact that if we have enough CDR for perfect vengeance uptime, then our damage multiplier is simply capped at 1.4. So in fact, if you work out this function without the crimson part right here, you can actually plot your damage increase as a function of CDR. And you can clearly see that it's capped around somewhere around 70% CDR. And that corresponds to how much CDR is needed for perfect vengeance if you're playing Marauders. So let's get rid of this part. So now we need to work out the actual sources of CDR, and that's listed right here. So basically, I've included Crimson, Paragon, Diamond and Helm, Weapon, Quiver, Gloves, Shoulder, and Enchantress. Um, and this doesn't include the CDR sources on the ring. So if we do have one CDR row on one of the rings, then the CDR is given by CDR1, and if we have it on both rings, then it's given by CDR2. And you can actually see how much CDR each of these corresponds to. So around 60%, 63, and 66%. So now that we have all of our multipliers, we can put it all together and work out the damage multiplier from in each of the three cases. And the three cases are if we have damage range on both rings, one ring with damage range and one with CDR, and both rings having CDR. So it works out that having damage range on both rings gives you a 12% multiplier. One damage range and one CDR is 10%, and both rings CDR gives you about a 7% damage increase. So the conclusion is that the flat damage will always yield more damage than CDR on rings. However, CDR does give you more toughness if you're running like Dark Heart for Cluster Arrow, or it can also give you more hatred if you're running Seethe for multi-shot. But if you just care about raw DPS, the flat damage is always the way to go for the rings. And that's all I wanted to say, so thanks for watching.